I'll set this up. Light. Let's see if there's any better with light. Yeah, I might see me better. We'll rock it like this. Hello! Friday. I'm trying a new light setup. Some updates before some tuning. Or how should I say it? I'll go through quickly now what I'm about to show in this episode. There are some info about how to convert carburetors for methanol use, and I also start this one up again on methanol, but no dyno pulse, as for obvious reasons. There are no rear wheel, because I am doing welding and stuff on the rear swing arm to get it more rigid and stability, to get rid of the chain jumping issue we had last year. And manual spike, the Piaggio Twin is almost done. We're waiting for the C-clips, wrist pin. It should be coming to me in the mail on Monday, Tuesday, so I can assemble it next week. Maybe start it up, I don't know. I won't say I'll do that, but maybe. But this day today, I'll go through some tuning. You won't hear much because it's loud as F. And I might put some music in. And I had this problem when hitting the throttle and releasing it. It stayed in RPM, even though I just flooded it with methanol, just to try to keep down the RPM, because it was a lean spot. Our methanol is doing that when lean. And didn't work perfectly, so I used the ignition compensation table, so I can set how fast I'm pulling the throttle and how fast I'm releasing it. I can add or pull away ignition, and I do not add anything when pulling the throttle quick, because I rely on the ignition map at that point. And releasing the throttle softly, it's also in the ignition map, but releasing it fast, as in a panic situation, something happens, you need to kill it fast. It shouldn't keep pulling, because that might get some issues in itself. If having problems with balance, and you might just need to pull out the power to straighten up the bike, and it doesn't do that, it just pulls. That's not good. Far from ideal, so to speak. And when having that table activated, it seemed to take that as it should. It's getting better when it's warm, and slight issues when it's cold still. But I'll tune that, because I can't tune it fully now, as I said, obvious reason. I will try to finish the rear swing arm tomorrow, and maybe some slight dial pulls. No, I don't know, I can't promise anything tomorrow. But we take it from there, and roll on this video. we need to talk. This is serious. No, not that serious. I'll talk about some converting for methanol on a two-stroke. And I got some talking points here. And we just get right into it, otherwise it will be a very long video. I hope you understand my struggle with English. Some basics around methanol. It is more octane than petrol, and running it really rich gives you more dynamic octane. You can reach levels that would be equal to petrol, about 140, almost 150 octane. Even though methanol doesn't have that high octane value, it's got, if I'm correct, I can't remember exactly, it's higher than E85 of course. E85 is 103, 104 from the pump. The race might be a little bit higher. 108 if I remember correctly. I can't say, wait a second. Back again. And why that then, you might ask. This is because you're able to run methanol very rich and thereby cool the combustion a lot. And by that, sensitivity against knocking is way less. Easy as that. And what compression ratios you should run? I got a own thought of this, but I will try later on this winter, maybe, because running methanol as you should, you need about 18:1 in compression ratio. I got 13.5:1. Very low, but there's a reason for that. Yes, I might not get all of the power available in the methanol fuel, but it is a loss about maybe per cylinder 2, 3, I don't know, but there is a positive mark about that, running low, not low, but not running higher compression on methanol fuel. It is that you're wasting energy, or with not compressing it as fully as you should makes not as effective combustion. And by that, not having that effective combustion, you waste heat into the pipe. And some might say, yeah, you overheat the piston. Yeah, with fuel you do. But, petrol, I mean. But methanol runs a lot cooler inside the combustion chamber. And it's really hard getting engine temp as you want. I could probably, for 201 meters race, 1.18 of a mile, I could probably just run a little water tank, not having any cooler to gain, to lower the weight of the whole bike. Maybe I would even get rid of the cooler and water all of it. But I run lower compression due to wasting temperature, wasting heat, and that makes a little bit of a compromise, yes. But as you're wasting heat, you get some heat into the pipes. Not. And getting heat into the pipes might be important if you're not having methanol pipes. If I were to run 18:1 in compression ratio, I would need to redesign the pipes. That's simple. Because they're compression it so much, and combustion event occurs, there is such a big expansion rate for the combustion from that small chamber to that cylinder volume with the pistons traveling down. From a slightly bigger combustion chamber, let's say, to over exaggerate numbers, let's say I got 10 to 1 in compression ratio compared to 20 to 1 in compression ratio with methanol or not methanol, or whatever. You got with 20 to 1 in compression, you got the double expansion. And by that, when the gas's expansion, it sucks up heat from the surroundings, and by that gives a lower engine temp and everything, and also lower exhaust temp. And having that, I need to shorten the pipes a lot. I will probably need about 100 millimeters shorter pipes, and that design of a pipe won't work on a petrol engine. Yeah, it will work, but it will rev to the moon. And so I'm wasting some heat to get some heat into the pipes, and by that the petrol pipes is working. It's not tuned at the same RPM as on petrol, but it will work in the region of let's say I designed these pipes for peak power on petrol 30,000 RPM. On methanol I will probably 11,800, 12,000, somewhere in that region, and I'm happy with that. I'll take a sip of water. My nose is clogged up. So we talked a little about that, and stoichiometric values to compare. On petrol you got 14.7 kilos of air or pounds of air to 1 pound of fuel. Kilos of air to 1 kilo of fuel. I'll stick to kilos now. In E85 you got, I can't remember the numbers correctly, 9 to 1 or 10 to 1, whatever, but the methanol is important now, and methanol wants 4.6 kilos to 1 kilo fuel, 4.6 kilos of air to 1 kilo fuel, and translating that in jetting sizes, let's say you have 100 square millimeters of area in the jet. You need 230 square millimeters of area, about that region. Of course there's plus minus some, but it's a good starting value. That leads me into, I will not as now talk about the injection system, because it's a whole another animal. I got these K-heels, I got 2 of them of course. I'm rejetting those to work with methanol and having them as a backup at the race if I cannot get this to work as I want. Earlier main jet was 200 in size on E85 note. It might have been for petrol, it might have been 165, 180 somewhere. Now with methanol I'm using 270. I've reamed them out myself. And pilot jet earlier was 58. Now they are 90. The float valve is, I haven't modded that yet, I will do that The float ball is, in these ones, 1.8 millimeters. Might work with fuel pump, probably will work. But not having fuel pump, you need to open that up a lot. And I will open these to 3 millimeters. Maximum is about 3.5. Then you need another needle or drill some holes so it can squirt at the sides of the, well, it can flow at the sides, because the float ball takes up area in this hole also, so it cannot flow more than the slots on the float needle. Oops. And 270 in main jetting is a little bit too big for the needle jet. Is, wait a second, I'll measure. Was it 2.6 millimeters or 2.7? 2.62 is the needle. 2.64. Wait a second. I'll go grab some. To get you some correct measurements. 2.65. So the jet is probably 2.7, because there needs to be some gap, or otherwise it will get stuck. And I have grinded them, the metering rods, to be about 0.5 millimeters. No, they are actually thinner. Sure. No, 0.5 millimeters. Where they sits on full throttle in the needle jet. No, not the needle jet. Exactly needle jet. So this one is taking up some area. So that 2.7 main jet cannot flow all of its flow, because the needle is in its way down here. So that's a little bit of a compromise. But how to compensate for that? I have added, let's see if I can get this old PV case, the throttle. Tell me if you got problems with it, this also. The threads are just hooking up wrong all the time. No. This is one hour later. Yeah, to accommodate for that problem, I have added the power jets. One power jet per carburetor. And these ones are big. They are about 3 millimeters in size on the inside. So that equals to a 300 jet. And it can flow all of that when the needle is way out. The adjusting screw is way out. It can flow all of it. So I can probably drench it with fuel. Where are we? I've taken up some ignition values on EA5 and high octane fuel. Hard tuned engine, 11,000 RPM. You often ends up around 15 degrees somewhere in that region. Mine needed 80 degrees. Probably due to E85 and not very high compression. On methanol, I can't say exactly what value I need because I haven't tuned it properly yet. But I can say in a low RPM region, underneath the pipes are working. I before got about 33, 35, maybe 36 degrees of ignition to get it to work properly underneath 9,000 RPM. Then I, of course, drops it. Now I've got, let's check, tuning in the same region. I got 44. That's quite a bit higher because I got a little bit lower compression. But it isn't a problem because the pipes aren't pumping yet, so there isn't that high volumetric efficiency yet, so it won't ping. Upwards at 11,000 RPM, I got 26 degrees. That's 8 degrees more. And at 30.5, where I got the RPM limiter, I got 40 degrees. So it's if running higher compression, let's 8 into 1, you of course need lower values. So I think I've gone through the most of it right now. And if there are any questions, please ask me in the comment section. I will try to answer you. But beware, I isn't. How to spell that correctly? I ain't guru on tuning two-stroke pipes. I happy amateur who happens to get quite high numbers. And I will not say myself as an expert, because there are always other guys knowing better than me and probably letting me know that also. And do that, please. And so today I will start to assemble the bike, the rear swing arm and things. I have updated. Earlier I had some interference from the coils, and I have moved around some parts. This isn't beautiful yet. I will tape this up later, and this one will be cut probably. I have mounted the ECU underneath here, because when I had it here, there wasn't any place in the fuel tank, and I can show you. This is one fuel tank from a Ford Sierra 1991. It's a water expansion for the cooling system. Puke tank, or what it's called. Very good, they can take the methanol with no problems. I just clean it before I'm using it. Well, that's about that. I'll start to assemble, and I'll talk to you later, guys. That's update for today. I promised this yesterday, but I was recording with this Insta360 and I had an extra light and it just flickered like a disco, like a club dance. I could have had some pounding music and get it into the groove. But well, however, I'll see you